Hey guys, a while ago when I was visiting my parents, I rediscovered my old portfolio that I used to apply to university. At the time this was obviously good enough because I did get into my course, but I feel like the standards for design are so much higher these days for getting into university, and obviously my work has improved greatly since 2006 when this was made, so I thought it would be actually quite fun today to look through this and have a look at the good bits and the not so good bits. The first project is something from my final year of high school, and I was doing it on this band I'd made up and doing all the graphics for their CDs and posters and merch, things like that. So this is the CD design that I did. The band was called The Out Crowd, and I don't know, this is not too bad to be honest. I remember working quite hard on this. Up next we have another graphic that's to do with music because that's what I was obsessed with and I kind of still am. And it is this Fall Out Boy lyric graphic. I think I remember this being one of my first experiences like playing around with Photoshop. Obviously, pretty cringe, there's some terrible fonts in there, but the sentiment was there, and playing with lyric graphics is something I still do to this day. This next piece is some of my photography work because when I started university I wasn't actually sure yet whether I wanted to do design or photography. This is a piece from my final year of high school photography boards. My work that year was kind of creepy, as you can see from this photo, and I was playing with different photo printing techniques. So I think this was a photo that had then been made into a negative and then sepia toned, printed out, crumpled up into newspaper, and then printed like as a transparency. It was a long process and I had a lot of fun with it. The next piece is also from that same project, and it features my dad, who you would have met in my video about making your own screen printing frames if you saw that. The poor guy let me wrap him up in this white tape because I wanted to do things with vertical and horizontal lines running through the picture. Obviously nowadays you just do this in Photoshop, but I was doing it all the analog way. This double exposure was done in the camera, not in Photoshop or even through the photo enlarger, so I think that's still pretty cool. The next piece is another photo. This photo is fairly average. I mean, the colours are pretty, the frog's cute, but it's not much of a representation of my photography or design skills, so we're shifting mediums for the next piece, and it's a painting that I did. Back in the day I really loved painting on canvases, and it actually still hangs in the spare room at my mum and dad's house. Next we're moving on to drawings. This first one is actually one I'm still really proud of because I honestly don't think I could do it if I tried again today. I read Dan Brown in high school and I really was obsessed with angels and demons and the ambigrams in that, which if you don't know is a word that looks the same right way up as it does upside down, like it reads the same word. So I made this one of my name. It's sort of like Nightmare Before Christmas styles, and can you see that it says Charlotte? And I'll just turn it over. It still says Charlotte. This next one is one that I am not proud of, and I remember I wasn't even proud of it when I put it in my workbook, but my art teacher had encouraged me to do something that showed drawing with a bit of shading and different textures and materials. I hated drawing at high school, I just wasn't good at it at all, and I tended to avoid it at all costs. It's this. It's a still life scene of some, I don't know, sciencey tools and some fabric. Let's be honest, it's not great, but that just goes to show how bad I was at drawing that I didn't have anything else to include other than this. The last drawing actually is one I did quite like. It's this one here, and this is actually a drawing of a photograph that I took. Again, not the best drawing in the world, we've already discussed that I am terrible at drawing. And knowing what I know now about portfolios, I definitely would not have ended on this. This is the last piece in this portfolio, and I know now that you're supposed to end your portfolio on a really strong note so that the person viewing it sort of ends with something really awesome fresh in their mind. So obviously, not that awesome, shouldn't have ended on it, but oh well. That sort of reminds me though, if you guys would be interested in me doing a video with some tips on how to format your portfolio and what sort of projects to put in it, let me know because I think that could be quite a cool video and helpful for you guys. Anyway, that's it for this portfolio. If you guys would be interested in checking out my current portfolio, it's now a website instead of a book like this, and you can check it out at a link below in the description box. I hope you guys enjoyed having a little glance at where my design career started off. Please make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you did like it, and I'll see you next time. Bye!